everybody. Churros, ice cream, I mean some of the best desserts ever, right? Well, Maria has put the two together to create the ultimate dessert dream team. That's what I'm talking about, Maria.
Nothing bad can happen today when you put those two things together. Wow. I know that Cameron, listen, my mission in life is to feed people, and Cameron likes ice cream, so I'm luring him in.
Ice cream is like my kryptonite. You guys know that.
Exactly. And churros, which is basically like a donut, putting it both together. My family loves ice cream. We're big ice cream people. Grant, I have the most adorable picture of Grant. Look at this is actually from a couple years ago, but look at how cute.
Oh my goodness.
We have ice cream on hand, and so of course it's summer, so it's a perfect dessert.
It's so good. And I know you got started with the dough, the churro dough, a little bit earlier. So take us through a little bit what you did here.
Yeah, so this is very similar to a pot de choux recipe, and I'll show you. You start here with water and butter, and add in a little bit of sugar because it slightly sweetens the dough, and some vanilla and some cinnamon. It will already smell amazing, and of course some salt. After that comes to a boil, you want to add in your flour. So you add your flour in, and like I said, this is going to smell amazing already. So you use a wood spoon to basically move it around. It'll form that ball. And what that does is it actually takes that raw flour taste out as well. So I'll cool it down a little bit. You can do this with a hand mixer as well, but this is just a stand mixer. And add your eggs in one at a time, and you want to make sure it mixes up enough each time before you add the following egg. And make sure you're using room temperature eggs in this, because if you're using, me very happy with my dough. And so you want to make sure you use room temperature eggs when you put it in, because otherwise the drastic temperature change could scramble the eggs, and we don't want that.
Well, you know what's interesting? We were talking about this a little bit earlier, is the similarity between different cultures making their different desserts with almost the exact same recipe. You were saying, go ahead, go through them for me.
So the French, it's anybody who goes to culinary school will tell you, in pastry school, the first thing you learn in terms of pastry is a pot de choux, which is what makes eclairs and profiteroles. I use a very similar form to make my zeppoli. And
this, of course, Mexican, the churro. Deb, I'm sure the Greeks.
Everybody has
there you go.
Funnel cakes.
Funnel cakes. There you go, everybody.
And of course, in the great American and the United States of America, the funnel cake.
The funnel cake, very good.
Also known as the elephant ear.
Well, just bringing everybody together here. Now, we've got the dough in this piping bag, and look at this little technique, everybody.
Yeah, so this is great. This is a muffin tin that's flipped over and generously sprayed with some cooking spray. So I have my piping bag here with a tip. The reason I do a tip is because you want to kind of preserve that churro type of look, and that's what's used when they make the churro. So what you do is this is going to be, I recommend, you can see we use a rubber bander. I do recommend that because it is a really thick dough. You don't want it to come out the top. Okay. And so what you do is you squeeze along here, and what this is going to do is going to give you that classic churro look. And you keep going, and it is a thick dough, so you need to make sure to squeeze it really hard, and you're going to be going up like this.
Okay.
And isn't that so pretty?
It is really cool. And then these will just pop off. I know you're going to put these in the freezer, right, for a little while while you're doing this.
So we have this. We're done.
Okay.
If you do your other ones, you want to do it? Do you want me to get the ones out of the freezer?
You go ahead. Okay. I'm going to try this. Tell us.
Make sure when you do it, Cameron.
You got to skip one?
You got to make sure they're not touching each other.
Okay.
So you can do one right here. Perfect. I'm going to get this one out of the freezer.
Okay.
And then you have to tell us about the strawberry sauce, because I am
is it delicious?
living for the strawberry sauce.
Good.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Okay, so I'm getting this out of the freezer. So that's really the trick to this. Since we are frying them, you want to preserve the integrity of the shape that we just created. And in order to do that, you want to freeze it. So these have been in the freezer. I would say it takes like a few hours, and you just kind of like pop. I've already loosened this up a little bit, but they're going to pop off like this. And you can
Cameron Matheson.
I know,
I was waiting for someone to notice, but that was pretty amazing. I'm just going to say right now.
Oh my goodness.
Man.
You're really stepping up your baking game on the last day before your move here.
So
what I got to do, Deb?
We have our here,
great.
and you can see if there's any little pockets that you weren't completely covered, you don't have to worry about it, because what we're doing is we're popping this in the fryer.
Beautiful.
Straight frozen? Straight from the freezer?
So it's going to take a little longer in the heat or in the oil. So the oil we have at 350, and you can use any kind of oil that you really like. Whenever you're making this.
Phenomenal.
And
this is my favorite dessert you've ever made.
So this can take about 5 minutes on this side, and then as it starts cooking, flip it.
Okay, very good. All right, and then at the end, there you go. They've held their shape just like isn't that cool looking?
That is so
like little beehives.
Right? They do. And what's so great, okay, I'm getting it with my hands.
While they're still warm.
While they're still warm, you want to toss them with some cinnamon and some sugar.
Oh, that's
so, and you truthfully, if you like any other spices, like if you love a cardamom, you love nutmeg, if you're doing this, maybe in the fall, you could use some pumpkin pie spice. I look for anything that has pumpkin pie spice. And you have this, it's like a donut.
It's amazing.
And you have it here, and it preserves that shape of the bowl. And of course, we have our ice cream. So
am I right on track
here?
here? Okay,
yes,
good.
so because it's summertime, we're using strawberry ice cream.
Yep.
And you can just pile it up like this. And truthfully, you could use any ice cream that you like. But Debbie, like you said, this is a fresh strawberry puree.
It's amazing.
Fresh strawberries, some lemon juice, and just a little bit of sugar, depending on how sweet your strawberries are. Just puree it all up.
And you could use that on yogurt, on anything. It's really beautiful, Maria.
And we'll use this.
There you go.
Let's do this. And you can use some sprinkles and some whipped cream.
Sure you can.
And all of that. And that's all you really need, and you're good to go.
Do I wait for the whipped cream before I do
this? You can do it in whatever order you like, Cameron.
He's getting so excited.
And this is like, you could really do your own, almost like, there we go.
It's like
we
a
have
sundae
multiple.
bar,
Perfect.
right?
It's like a sundae bar. You could do this for just about anything.
Oh,
but
Cameron,
how fun
don't
for
skimp on the whipped
summertime.
cream, really.
You could have bananas and Nutella and
This
everything in the
is
world.
amazing.
Yeah, just
Cheers.
bite
Look at
into
this.
it,
Do we just
Cameron.
bite into it?
I am.
Bite it.
Really?
I'm committed.
Oh, yes. Now that's fun.
This is sensory overload right here.
It's beautiful.
Amazing.
Well done, Maria. This was fantastic.
Oh, my gosh.
And of course, you all can find this recipe on HallmarkChannel.com. And stick around because coming up, television host Zuri Hall reveals how a prank TV date led to her finding true love. Come on back, everyone.
She's got ice cream all over her face.
Oh, my goodness.